for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live. And on YouTube, we are NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News. On Twitter, at NTANewsNow. And on Instagram, NTA Network for all the updates. Let's begin with the AU Summit. The 35th session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of African Union has suspended the decision by the chairman of the AU Commission, Moussa Faki Mahamat, to grant an observer status to Israel. Consequently, a 7-man committee of African leaders, including President Muhammadu Buhari, has been set up to critically analyze the situation and make recommendations on the best way forward in the interests of the continent. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president is back in Abuja.
The chairperson of the African Union Commission had in July last year taken a decision to grant Israel observer status at the AU, an action that came barely 2 months after an outbreak of violence in the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Moussa Faki Mahamat, in defense of the action, said it is within his sphere of competence and was at the express request of many member states. Nigeria and other countries are, however, dismayed at the lack of sufficient consultation and transparency, especially in view of Africa's strong support for the two-state solution. Records show that President Buhari's Nigeria maintains cordial relations with Israel but remains unflinching in its position on a two-state solution to the crisis between Israel and Palestine, as well as full respect of the human rights of Palestinians. Consequently, to avoid needless division amongst member states on the matter, the African leaders resolved by consensus to suspend the decision taken by the AU chairperson. A committee of 7 African leaders is therefore created to make recommendations to the AU summit, which remains worried over the development. The newly elected chairperson of the African Union and Senegalese leader Macky Sall is to chair the committee. He is therefore expected to take the initiative of launching the works of the high-level committee. In the meantime, the summit, which ended on Sunday, condemned in strong terms the recent wave of military coups in parts of the continent. The African leaders, who described the unconstitutional changes of government as inimical to peace, stability and development, ratified the suspension of Sudan, Guinea, Mali and Burkina Faso from the bloc. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is back in the country after a successful outing at the African Union Summit in Ethiopia, the land of origins. He was received on arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by the FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba, Director General, Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The role of professionals in politics and nation building is the issue that dominated the discussion at the inaugural conference of the All Progressives Congress Professionals Forum held in Abuja this Monday. In his remarks, Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo observes that the future of the nation depends on professionals who prepare to live up to their professional calling. We'll bring you the details much later in the course of the bulletin. The elected executive members of the All Progressives Congress in Taraba State have been inaugurated with a call to work for the victory of the party. Chairman of the party in the state, Tukur El-Sudi, made the call during the inauguration in Jalingo. Jabrin Musa will tell us more.
The inauguration ceremony, which was attended by the party members from across the 16 local government areas of the state, took place at the party secretariat, Jalingo. The Taraba State APC chairman, who inaugurated the executive members, urged them to carry the party members alone and walk round the clock for the success of the party in the forthcoming elections.
We have Fidelis Francis as the secretary. We have Honorable Ahmadu Zakari, assistant secretary.
In a post-inaugural address, the deputy chairman, on behalf of the inaugurated ESCO members, commended the APC members for their support and pledged to justify the confidence reposed on them.
We sincerely solicit for the support of all stakeholders to enable us when all political seats in Taraba State come 2023.
Some party officials reaffirmed their commitment for the success of the party, noting that the inauguration signals the victory of the APC in Taraba State.
By way of interfacing, because our political party is a political party that is a non-violence political party.
The APC ward and local government executive were inaugurated last year. In Jalingo, Jibrin Musa, NTA News.
The National Executive Committee of the Allied People's Movement has passed a vote of no confidence and suspended the entire board of trustees of the party until further notice. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This is an emergency National Executive Committee meeting of the Allied People's Movement. The meeting, among other resolutions, mandated the Yusuf Dantale-led National Working Committee to initiate a process for the conduct of state congresses and national convention of the party after the 2023 general election.
We have resolved that the BOT of our party, as presently constituted, is deficient, ineffective, and cannot perform our official functions as clearly stated in our constitution. Consequently, we have decided to unanimously pass a vote of no confidence and suspend the entire BOT until further notice. That we have mandated the National Chairman and the National Working Committee to henceforth continue to function in their stead.
I'm not suspended, and nobody can suspend me because I'm a stakeholder of this party.
NEC also gave approval to the party's national chairman to negotiate with like-minded political parties that will want to enter into alliance or coalition with the APM in contesting various offices in 2023 general election without compromising the party's ideology. The emergency NEC also adopted a new membership card with a code for effective membership drive and identification of members. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
300 households taking refuge at the Muhammadu Buhari internally displaced persons camp in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, have benefited from a donation of cardigans and other warm clothing materials against the biting Hamilton, courtesy wife of the president, Aisha Buhari. Through her project Future Assured, the distribution was performed on her behalf by the Director General, Borno State Emergency Relief Agency, Yabawa Kulu. Abubakar Mohammed Musa reports.
These are some beneficiaries of the cardigans and clothing materials of Nigeria's First Lady, describing how the benevolence will assist them significantly, considering the intensity of the cold weather being experienced across Borno. Flagging off distribution of the materials on behalf of the First Lady of Nigeria, Director General, State Emergency Management Agency, Yaba Okolo, who also represented wife of Borno State Governor Falmata Babagana Umara, underscored the attendant challenges of Hamatan, such as pneumonia and asthma, especially among children and elderly, hence the support by Aisha Buhari.
Mapping of vulnerable areas that where they have a lot of vulnerability, especially internally displaced resettlements, especially in host community and some of the informal settlements that we have around. I will be distributing it up to evening time till we finish with each and every household in this Muhammadu Buhari camp.
The gesture is expected to be extended to host communities across Maiduguri. Muhammadu Buhari camp is currently accommodating 625 IDPs who are mostly from northern Borno. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
To aid the operations of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Enugu State Command, especially in the fight against drug abuse and trafficking, the state government has donated operational vehicles to the command. Presenting the vehicles, Secretary to the state government said government is determined more than ever to stamp out all forms of drug abuse and trafficking in the state.
Drug abuse and trafficking has remained a destructive force sweeping across societies globally, wreaking havoc among the teens and young adults. To aid the agency at the forefront of the fight against drugs, the NDLEA, the Enugu state government is donating 4 operational vehicles to the state command of the agency to help their efforts yield more positive results.
The presentation of these vehicles marks a milestone in the determination of the state to work in partnership with the NDLEA to eliminate all forms of drug abuse in our society. We are happy to say that the collaboration between the state and the NDLEA is yielding results.
The gesture was well appreciated by the Enugu State Commander, NDLEA.
So here are the vehicles in good condition, and he has already started heading our operations. So on behalf of the agency, I want to thank the Enugu State government.
Both parties agreed on more collaborations between the agency and the Enugu State government, as both are determined to rid the state and the nation of drug abuse and trafficking. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Security operatives in Kogi State have repelled an attack on the Okene area command of the Nigeria Police Force by gunmen numbering over 30. However, no lives were lost in the attack. The incident is reported to have occurred in the late hours of Sunday, 6th February 2022. One of the gunmen was killed by security operatives, while others ran away with some of them injured. 2 motorcycles and various arms and ammunition were recovered, while explosives meant to shatter the command were detonated by security experts. In a statement, the Kogi State government, through its Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, warned that the government will not relent in efforts to clamp down on criminals. He called on operators of all medical facilities and traditional medical homes to report anyone with gun wounds to the nearest security formation in the state. Authorities have given further update on the explosion and subsequent fire outbreak that engulfed the FPSO Trinity Spirit vessel at the Ukpokiti terminal on the 2nd of this month. Statement from the company indicates that 6 crew members were found alive at the community while 2 died. Investigations are still on towards establishing the whereabouts and safety of the remaining 4 crew members still missing and limit damage to the environment and trace the cause of the incident. However, residents in the affected area are advised to stay away while the crisis management team monitors development. You know you can catch us live online on our website nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page NTA Network News, on Twitter at NTANewsNow, and on Instagram NTA Network. Port Harcourt will be our first stop, and Dibobari is set to take it from there.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. The Nigerian Navy ship NLS Pathfinder has launched another onslaught against illegal oil refiners with the destruction of 2 additional camps in the Bise, Akokotaro local government area of Rivers State. Kingsley Amaji reports.
The Nigerian Navy is pushing the war against illegal refineries into the creeks with the collaboration of local vigilantes spearheaded by the local council authorities. Abise Creek is reportedly notorious not only for the illegal oil refining activities but also as hideouts for sea pirates. Over 5 refining outlets were brought down. NTA News gathered that about 8 suspects have so far been arrested. The local vigilante, on their part, have been useful in providing intelligence to the hidden locations of these illegal oil refining activities.
What is most pleasing, particularly today or during the conduct of this operation, is the level of cohesion between the Navy, the local civil authorities, and of course other security agencies. And it is my belief that that is a key enabler towards the attainment of our collective objective of fighting economic saboteurs in Rivers State.
Key concern to the local government council authorities and stakeholders is the impact of these illegal oil refining activities on the environment.
Land is the first right of a man, and when the land is destroyed, it brings poverty, it brings suffering. Because you can see, while we are even coming, you can see the river is highly polluted. And by study, this land can never be the same in the next 70 years.
Far behind me is the debris of the illegal refining site that had already been destroyed. but this cartel appears unrelenting. Closely, you could see that there is effort to rebuild this illegal refining site that had initially been destroyed. This is also a concern to the authorities, how to deal decisively with this cartel. From Abise in Akokotoro local government area, I'm Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
New Flag Officer Commanding Central Navy Command, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, has pledged his unwavering commitment to continue the fight against illegal oil bunkering, oil theft, and other maritime crimes in the nation's territorial waterways. He made the pledge during the ceremony to mark his taking over as FOC at the command's headquarters, Yenagwa. Ebinimi Zitimiola reports.
The brief but remarkable ceremony he raised the official takeover by the new Flag Officer Commanding Central Naval Command, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas. Having served in different capacities in the command, the FOC says he is conversant with the terrain and will leverage on the successes of his predecessor together with dedicated officers to achieve its mandate of keeping the waterways free from criminal elements and protect the vast oil and gas resources.
I am only going to build on where my predecessor has left. The fight against illegal oil bunkering and illegal refineries will continue with more vigor.
Earlier, outgoing FOC Rear Admiral Obiwani Egbechulam enumerated the command's achievements under his watch to include seizure of vessels and arrest of persons involved in piracy, oil pipeline vandalism, and crude oil theft, resulting to the recovery of more than 15 billion naira, the effective takeoff of the naval base Oguta, and ongoing construction of maritime domain awareness sites at Yokri and Tamuzu, among others. He appreciated the Chief of the Naval Staff, the federal and state governments for their support, and solicited the cooperation of officers and ratings with the new FOC to achieve maximum results.
Despite considerable challenges, we pursued the key priorities of the Chief of Naval Staff's strategic guidance. Particularly, the command sustained presence at sea to secure the maritime environment for our national prosperity.
Rear Admiral Idi Abbas is the 11th Flag Officer commanding Central Naval Command. Ebinimi Zitimiola, NTA News.
And that does it from Port Harcourt. Nationwide will continue with Route in Abuja right after the break. Stay tuned.
The ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, the construction of a 1.6-kilometer-long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
Contemporary times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College Short Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Computer Appreciation for Media Practitioners. Date 21st February to 28th February 2022. 1 week. English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters. Date 1st March to 25th March. 4 weeks. Administrative Principles, Processes and Practices. Date 11th March to 31st March 2022. 4 weeks. Modern Trends in Broadcast Media Marketing. Date 14th March to 13th April 2022. 4 weeks. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 4th April to 19th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 1 week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2 week course is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for the 4 week course is 180,000 naira only, accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
Welcome back. As Nigeria seeks to diversify the economy, prioritizing agriculture is an alternative to generate revenue. Ifeanyi Zumba in this report takes a look at some of the viable options to be adopted.
Worldwide has been identified as the key ingredient to any nation's stable economic growth and crucial for elimination of hunger. In Nigeria, due to weak infrastructure, the potential agricultural produce holds for the country is yet to be harnessed. Experts state that for Nigeria to make any headway in improving agricultural activities and creating wealth, there must be a mechanized approach to it.
Majority of the local government area council areas, the farmers, they do not know what to do. They just apply fertilizer, whatever quantity, they don't know how to apply it, they don't know the quantity to use. So this is why we are on the advocacy side.
What measures can the government adopt to assist private initiatives to contribute their own quota in boosting agriculture in Nigeria?
We cannot continue to say we want to increase agriculture by just merely using these local tools now, and cutlasses. There's nowhere we can go with it. We need to also bring technology into agriculture.
Don't just go outside the farmers in the hinterland to say you want to do agriculture. Wherever we have in Abuja, we have in Lagos, we have in Kano, it's not where the agric is being produced. The produce comes from somewhere, in the villages, in the communities, with low people. And these are the people that are not having the influence of government upon them. So we want the government to actually look for platforms.
In recognition of the important role of research in improving agricultural production, the FCT administration has continued to sustain its support to institutions to enhance food production, all in its effort at moving towards a more sustainable agriculture for the progress of the nation. Ifeanyi Zumba, NTA News.
In Bauchi State, farmers have described dry season wheat farming as a lucrative business capable of promoting food sufficiency and economy of the nation. Bulak Afsa visited some wheat farms in Misau, Warji and Bauchi local government areas and now reports.
Improving the agricultural sector is one of the top priority agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari, aimed at achieving food security in the country. Anchor Borrowers Program is a federal government's agricultural transformation program aimed at encouraging productivity to achieve self-sufficiency in food production. More than 5,000 hectares of wheat farmland in Bauchi State is being cultivated in this year's dry season farming. In some local government areas of Bauchi State, the program is making positive impact as dry season farmers embrace it massively.
The challenges is lack of having the material at the proper time.
We thank my President, General Muhammadu Buhari.
Bauchi State Coordinator with Farmers Processors and Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ibrahim Abubakar Sadiq, while inspecting some farms in some local government areas, expressed satisfaction and commended the wheat farmers for complementing government's effort towards achieving federal government's agenda. Farmers are expected to pay back the loan with farm produce after harvest. In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
All right, let's make another stop. This time it's Lagos, and Michael will guide us.
Thank you, Ruth. Apart from performing the tasks of protecting the territorial integrity of the country, the Nigerian Army is a social agent preaching cultural coexistence and safeguarding the values of the country at various exercises. This bond of unity exists in virtually all barracks, and there is a renewed call for Nigerians to adopt in the interest of national growth. Even in the face of war, an average soldier finds comfort in any geopolitical zone, and this tends to extend to the protection of lives without thought of biases. This state of mind is not deliberate, but subconsciously developed as a product of an army barrack where all tribes, ethnic groups, and religion flourish together. There is a forum for the celebration of this unity in diversity, where every member of the community, through cultural displays, musical performances, and other regimental activities, strengthen social relationships. The platform, as exemplified in the case of 81 Division of the Nigerian Army, helps to showcase the rich and diverse cultural heritage of the country.
It has also helped us to bond. You know, in the military, we do not know tribe, religion, or anything. Where we see ourselves as one. We look at things from one prism.
Apart from the cultural interaction, the West African social activities WASA usually marks the end of a training cycle.
The successes that was recorded during the just concluded exercise Stillwater, somewhere here around Lagos, the exercise led to the arrest of many criminal elements within and outside Lagos, which has greatly assisted in the peace that we now enjoy.
The highly rooted customs and traditions of the people, as promoted by the West African social activities, key players here say should be nurtured and diffused into the larger society. A Scandinavian nation in Europe, Sweden, has inaugurated its consulate in Lagos to boost its trade relations with Nigeria. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who welcomed the consulate, said the effort will further promote mutually beneficial cultural and financial relations.
Being the first Scandinavian country to have an embassy in Nigeria, the Swedish ambassador to Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, and ECOWAS, Carl Grains, said his country has always kept a close contact with Lagos on a business level. The establishment of the consulate in the state is a clear demonstration of the love it has for Lagos.
And the opening in Lagos then was the base of our bilateral relations, and they have broadened and deepened throughout the years.
As a commercial center, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state deserves all the support it can get to improve and sustain the infrastructure available. He added that the consulate will not only be close to Swedish citizens, but also be able to participate in business and cultural activities.
We need to have, a footprint here. Not just because it's Lagos, but because they need to be able to get a lot closer consular relationship with all of the businesses, that are currently in the country, and more importantly for the citizens of our country that would also want to know one or two things.
It is expected that the consulate will facilitate business and cultural ties with Nigeria, thereby deepening the already existing relation between both countries. In Lagos, Henginu John Adams, NTA News.
That is it from here. Is now back to Ruth for the continuation of the news.
Thank you very much, Michael. Not too long, the largest rice pyramid in Africa was launched in Abuja. About 600 millers are to process rice from this pyramid. While that has been dismantled, that of maize has been built in Kaduna by maize farmers to showcase the success story in the agricultural revolution happening in Nigeria. We join our correspondent live from Kaduna, Abdullahi Rugachukwu, to give us an update right now. Abdullahi, can you tell us where this pyramid is located in Kaduna and what is the level of preparations so far?
Well, actually, thank you very much for coming to Kaduna. It is instructive to know that maize is an important food crop in many homes and also critical for food sufficiency and raw material for industries. In the 60s, we used to have a groundnut pyramid in Kano, and today young people like myself can have the opportunity of seeing maize pyramid being erected in Kaduna, and the projection is to have about 30 of the ones behind me. This is a positive affirmation of the fact that Nigeria is really on the right path toward food sufficiency, food security. This is also a testimony of the fact that Nigerian farmers have really responded to the clarion call by the Buhari administration to produce what we eat. These maize behind me are not from somewhere else. They are from the hard work and commitment of our local farmers. Of course, Kaduna is important in maize production areas like Soba, Giwa, Igebi local government, and several other local governments in Kaduna. So that maybe informed the choice of Kaduna for the erection of this pyramid is both economically important and historically important too, as it will now tell the world that really Nigeria is back on track in terms of producing enough raw materials to feed the population and also the voracious appetite of Nigeria's journey towards industrialism. That is it, and this is the situation for now. These pyramids are erected in the heart of Kaduna city. So this is an opportunity for anyone coming into Kaduna to be able to discern these beautiful pyramids being erected by Association of Maize Farmers here. And of course, this is facilitated by support from the federal government through the Anchor Borrowers Program. And this is a recovery from the loans granted to local farmers, courtesy this program by the federal government.
I agree with you, looking at this revolution happening in the agri sector. Now, have you been able to speak to any person there, talking about an official there? What is going to be after this?
Like I told you, the projection is to have about 30 of these pyramids, and standing with me right now at the location is the Chairman, Maize Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, in the person of Muhammad Kabir, to give us more clue on the projection and also what this means to the Nigerian economy. Muhammad Kabir, thank you very much. Yes. What is the projection with this?
The projection is that last year we formed this kind of pyramid in Katsina State, and this time we have decided to come to Kaduna. And the essence of the formation of this pyramid is to show to the world, and that is the Nigerians in general, that now Nigeria can be able to provide the enough maize required by both consumers and the processors. So, and we got this maize from our farmers who are given the loans that we got from the central bank through the Anchor Borrower program, which was introduced by this administration of Muhammad Buhari. So all this maize you are seeing here, we are bringing it from different states of the Federation, because the Maize Association of Nigeria covered all the Federation. We have the members, and we received these loans, and we gave to the farmers, to produce. And what
do you have plans to now erect same in some other geopolitical zones or states of the Federation?
No, we do it annually. We do it annually, and only once in a year. So that's why we have decided to come here. And all these measures that we are bringing is not only from Kaduna State, but from all states of the Federation.
All right. So what does this mean to Nigeria's journey towards food sufficiency?
Yes, this is to show that definitely sure. If you consider the production of maize in Nigeria in the first years, you see it's not more than 8 million metric tons. But what we are saying now In 4 or 5 years now, we have reached more than 20 million metric tons. So gradually we are moving to a certain level, which we are sure that in a very near future, we can export this maize to the other countries.
So this is an affirmation, positive affirmation for Nigerians to feel relaxed that you are really going to feed them.
Yes, certainly. Because from what this is only what we got from our registered members. Okay. So there are a number of farmers that are producing, which are not also our members. It's not all from the Maize Farmers Association, but what we are saying, since we are spearheading, the production of maize in Nigeria, that's why we have this statistic, to give to the people in this country that we can produce more than 20 million metric tons now.
Thank you very much for this update, Muhammad Kabir. That is the chairman, Maize Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, giving us an update of what really the projection is. Actually, this is a magnificent improvement or development that anyone can see, and it's an attestation of the fact that really Nigeria's quest for food sufficiency and also exports of the outlet to neighboring countries or outside world is really achievable.
Indeed, Abdullahi, a great milestone being recorded today. Maize, that's the first time I'm seeing that happen in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, there is a revolution happening in the agri-sector in Nigeria. All right, let's move on to other issues. On a daily basis, motorists encounter multiple checkpoints mounted by different security agencies, checking car documents, especially by the Federal Road Safety Corps and vehicle inspection officers. Asabe Williams in this report examines the overlapping role and the rights of the motorist.
Investigations by NTA News revealed that each of these paramilitary agencies has its own jurisdiction where it is expected to operate without necessarily interfering with one another. This is also in addition to the numerous checkpoints where motorists are forced to slow down for check. Findings show that the Federal Road Safety Corps also possesses the right, because not only does it ensures that highways are safe. The Federal Road Safety Corps checks for vehicle registration and insurance, driver's license, and enforces traffic laws.
Road safety is everybody's business. Now, if you have that level of understanding, you will be able to answer the question, who checks what? And the Nigerian police, the VIO, the Federal Road Safety, or the Civil Defense, whichever one, is on the road for the purpose of what? Ensuring safety.
Meanwhile, the Vehicle Inspection Office is unequivocal that its primary duties are to inspect and certify vehicles for roadworthiness, train and test drivers for driver's license eligibility, which will also be issued by the FRSC.
All of us are being a little bit vigilant. They will reduce over 70% of the stress to ensure the enforcement, I am telling you, because you, as the commuter, you are always almost 100% together with the driver during the time of the journey.
The issue of particulars is a fully responsibility of VIO, because every driver, every owner of the vehicle, if you are renewing particulars, you know where you're supposed to go.
But the police says, given that it is uncommon for stolen vehicles to be on the highway, it has the right to stop vehicles and ask for papers and verify if the drivers are the owners of the vehicles.
We have Road Traffic Act. Road Traffic Act is the act that empower us to regulate traffic, to arrest offenders. That act we got the power of regulating traffic, arresting offenders, checking particulars of vehicles.
From all indications, it is not likely that this dilemma and problems motorists encounter as a result of overlapping roles will end soon, as they will have to endure the nightmare of giving in to uniformed men whose seemingly duplicated duties tend to be an obstacle. Asabe Williams, NTA News.
Universal Declaration on Human Rights established that everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within borders of each state. But records have shown that there is increase in the violation of the rights of migrants by their host countries. In a bid to tackle this menace, Code Radio International came up with a capacity building project for journalists on migration. Let's hear more from Obageli Ugoke.
Records indicate that millions of people are on the move every day from one country to another in search of greener pastures. They are called migrants. While some are fairly treated, others are subjected to various degrees of maltreatment as their rights are constantly violated, especially African migrants. This trend has generated concerns globally, with international conventions and governments canvassing for respect and fair treatment for migrants. Worried about this, Code Radio International has embarked on training and empowerment of journalists from Mali, Agadez, Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, amongst others, who will monitor and report abuse of migrants in the Sahel regions in local languages.
There is a lot of violations going on unnoticed, and with the help of Borderline Europe, Code Radio is going to be monitoring the violations of migrant rights across the borders of Sahel.
Number one, we have to, especially in Africa and Asia, we have to evolve good governance. Principle of good governance where everybody will be free to live his own way of life.
Migration has become a major issue around the world, from Africa through to Europe. It's even a national security issue for most of the countries on the African continent. So the journalists reporting the field must have the most objective, most professional attitude.
For the past 5 days, these journalists have been on capacity building, learning how to monitor and report violations of migrants' rights across borders. Now, the training is over. They have been discharged with certificates and gadgets, and it's time to go into the field and perform their duties.
Very, very good lesson I've learned, and it's going to help me because I am going to speak with facts. I'm not just going to speak from space. I've been trained.
The project is funded by EU Borders. Code Radio International is a full-day oriented radio station covering the entire Sahel region through shortwave. Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
Don't forget you can catch all our news live on the go. Our website is nta.ng/live. On YouTube, it's NTA News Online. You can visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, on Twitter at NTANewsNow, and on Instagram, NTA Network, for all the updates. All right, we're heading to Jos, and Zenret will guide us there.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Jos. Following emerging security challenges, the Plateau State Peace Building Agency has expanded its network by establishing peace and security desk offices in security-prone local government areas. Caleb Gochin has the story.
In this first phase of the exercise are Bassa, Riom, Mangu, Bokos, Shandam, and Wase local government areas. Director General of the Plateau State Peace Building Agency, Joseph Lengmang, underscored the importance of the task before the officers and the need for them to be worthy ambassadors of the agency. Mr. Lengmang noted that the agency will continue to liaise and partner
and peace building, but of course we also have to look at some of the triggers of conflict.
The desk officers, who are mainly principal officers from the local government councils, appealed to the agency and relevant government authorities to take more proactive measures in tackling the menace of kidnapping, assassination, land grabbing, and other criminalities confronting the areas. It is expected that the initiative will be expanded to other local government areas in due course. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
Road construction and maintenance are catalysts for both urban and rural transformation. It's against this backdrop that the federal government embarks on rehabilitation and completion of some roads in Jos Metropolis. Ndenyang and Abuja reports.
The 28-kilometer British-America junction to Faringada and 11-kilometer Naragute road to Bauchi state border are major roads within Jos Metropolis that serve as access roads to the northeast and northwestern states of the country. These roads have been in deplorable conditions until the emergency repair works were carried out by the Federal Ministry of Works.
Now, they have filled some dangerous places, most especially from here to Babali.
During the rainy season, the road is very muddy and not passable, discouraging our passengers. That has changed.
Before, the road is no good like this because we used to have hold-off here, but now there is no hold-off. The road from here to Bauchi, the road is okay now.
The State Federal Controller of Works says the federal government remains resolute in ensuring Nigerians are provided with good access and motorable roads to enhance transportation across the country.
The vehicles can park comfortably now, and also on the carriageway they can move comfortably. The federal government has tried its best because we spent up to 383 million to rehabilitate this road.
He further notes that more works are undertaken in the state for improved socio-economic development. In Jos, Ndenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
That's it from Jos. The news continues after this break.
Candidates who are interested in gaining admission into NTA Television College Jos for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM). The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. For more information, please contact NTA Television College, Jos, or the Marketing Department of any NTA station nationwide. Registrar, Announcer.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV Channel 251, GoTV Channel 91, Freeview UK Channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
I know that in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need be. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets for them or train tickets for them. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
Welcome back. The federal government of Nigeria has taken delivery of 2 million doses of Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine donated by the European Union. At the official handing over of the vaccine to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency at the airport in Abuja, the European Union representative said the move is a step-up effort to support member countries in Africa where vaccination is low. The Executive Director on National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shuab, reaffirmed federal government's commitment to ensure vaccines availability in the country with continuous efforts at getting more citizens vaccinated against the virus.
But we know that much work remains ahead of us. As we head into the third year since the COVID outbreak, the pandemic is not yet defeated. We must continue to work together to help partner countries to speed up vaccinations and to develop their capacity to manufacture vaccines locally.
Potentially, we have over 50 million doses of the J&J vaccine that will be really focused on the hard-to-reach areas, security-compromised areas, the riverine areas. And this is very good for Nigerians because what it means is that once you get the first shot, what's going to be left is just the booster shot, and then you're done.
Meanwhile, the Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has appealed to Southeasterners to continue taking the required doses of COVID-19 vaccine so as to fortify their immune system. He stated this at the Southeast Primary Healthcare and COVID-19 Vaccination Review meeting. Mina Ukwabasi reports.
The governor, represented by his deputy, advocated the need for the people within the Southeast geopolitical zone to take advantage of the federal government COVID-19 vaccination. She expressed displeasure that Enugu State, which is supposed to be vaccinating 18,000 persons per day, vaccinates only 1,000.
We promise to address the current challenges, including the vaccine hesitancy, routine immunization, and antenatal care services.
The Chairman Committee on Primary Healthcare and Communicable Diseases at the National Assembly and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency advocated that the agency, through their routine immunization and vaccination program, centered on the need for the people of the Southeast to embrace the customized plans for every state in the Southeast to be COVID-19 free.
Our wisdom should not be restricted to other things that we do. It should also be in health delivery.
Today, we take determined steps on how we can overcome those barriers so that not only will we be able to achieve herd immunity in the Southeast, we would then be able to exit this pandemic.
Some partners and participants say the sensitization is apt, as over 15 million persons in Nigeria had gotten the first dose. 5 million had received a second dose, while 500,000 had also received the booster. In Enugu, Mina Adobio Kobasi, NTA News.
Let's take sports update.
Nigeria's under-20